What a day so far. Man, there's been some good roads, and then there's been some neck-breaking roads. Huge potholes inside some of these interstates. So if you're just traveling on the interstates, just be prepared. Ever so often, they're definitely going to mess up on you. Most of it's smooth, but the parts that are rough are rough. Sitting over here just at one of the rest areas, finally was able to stop at one here in Indiana. Beautiful place, nice and green, tall trees, not like where I'm from Central Texas. So definitely loving the view, definitely loving the fresh air. Interstate's not that too far away, so you probably hear a lot of road noise. 18-wheelers are coming in and out, they're doing their thing. And I don't know, I mean, so far so good. 1.5 days of driving, so we'll see how it goes. Stop, gonna eat about a lunch, do a little bit of walking around, get some of this stiffness out of the legs that I got going on right now, and hit the road and hopefully get to my destination before I have to stop again, if I don't have to go to the bathroom. Apparently I've been drinking a lot today, so little quick frequent stops here and there, but hopefully get on the road, get some miles behind us and keep on trucking.
We're the Essary family, and we're exploring America, one destination at a time.
So one thing that I have noticed while just the 2 days that I've been doing this is you can't be shy. You can't be shy in doing this. Now, what I mean by that is, you know, I brought food with me to eat on the road. Every day I stop and I get a regular meal from like fast food or something like that. But, you know, if there's dishes to be done, or if there's, you know, I need to go shave or something like that, I can't be shy and not take care of what I need to take care of. Not be intrusive and not kind of be in the way and be annoying of you know, people that are trying to do their normal thing, or, you know, doing the same thing that I'm doing. But most truck stops or rest areas, it's okay to take your stuff and get kind of cleaned up and get refreshed and then get ready to take off. So you can't be shy in doing that in this job. So you just gotta, you know, take care of your business. Don't like throw it in people's faces that you're doing certain things, but I know that if my kids were with me, they'd have like secondhand embarrassment because of the things that I've been doing. But I've been a very good person, so just don't be afraid of it. All right, let's get back on the road. Just got done with a restaurant called Hunter's Hideaway out here at Nappy. I think I'm saying that right, Napanee. Anyways, help me out if you actually know the correct enunciation of that city. And really good place, locally owned, highly suggested. Had a hamburger with an egg on it, and it was phenomenal. Egg was really well done, just the way that it needs to be in order to be runny on top of a hamburger. About to head back to the hotel. I will show you that and all the other stuff that's going on. All right, the end of day 2. Made it to the Countryside Inn here in Napanee. Still pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. Gonna get all hunkered down, gonna get all situated. Darth Hall did a fantastic job in getting me here. I'm so extremely happy that little guy, he made it. So with that said, I'm gonna get up super early in the morning, double check all my stuff, and make sure that he is fully ready to go in order for orientation and whatever Wave wants to throw at him. So far so good. Trip up here was pretty simple. It's going to be the orientation and the trip back that we'll just see how it goes. But sleeping in my own bed, king size bed, which is super nice. Haven't had a king size bed to myself in quite some time. They don't have a whole lot of amenities here, but they do have laundry service and a pool. So that's good to know for next time if I ever decide to come up here and take a stay, to bring my swimwear. So beautiful weather. I think it's like 80 degrees or something like that. Actually, it's probably cooled off by now. But wonderful, wonderful evening. Oh, I'm also in Amish country, so that was pretty cool to go through and see all that. On my way to dinner, I was actually stuck behind one of the carts, which isn't a big deal. It is what it is. Got to see Kokomo today, Miami. Met Pocahontas as I drove through that city. A lot of cool different things out here. There is something that I am going to talk about on my trip back that Missouri needs to get their act together. I'm not sure what they're coming up with or what they're trying to you know, like reinvent the wheel or something over there with their highway system. But we'll definitely talk about that on my way back. Other than that, I'll take it easy. Got a couple hours before I'm actually going to go to bed. Early morning. All good stuff. All good stuff. So, stay tuned. More to come. Hey. So we made it. Day 3. Starting to lose track of days. That's pretty bad. Day 3 made it to Wave. Here we are at Wave Express, the recruiting center here in Goshen, Indiana. And looking forward to it. Man, Indiana, y'all got something else going on. 64 degrees this morning. Almost put on my jacket just because it was that cold. Especially whenever you come from Central Texas in July, whenever it might cool down to 85 degrees. So this is probably 20 degrees more than what I typically have on a July morning. So y'all have some really nice weather up here. I can see why there's so many snowbirds, that come up for the summertime and then they go down to Texas and Florida during the winter time so they can get a little bit of warmth. But looking forward to it. We got some great things coming up, some good things about to happen. About to go meet my classmates, some other ones that might have joined in on Wave, and hopefully have a really good class today. I heard today's not going to be as bad as tomorrow when we start getting into the nitty-gritty details. They're really going to be checking us for all of our safety equipment, all of our mandatory equipment that we have, or we're supposed to have, and then do a test drive and maybe some other stuff. I think get us paperwork, everything else set up. So looking forward to it. Hopefully we'll be able to get some stuff done and we'll move on from there. Yeah, I'm a little chilled, but here we go. All right, man. So let's see, a lot going on so far. First day of orientation, half the day already gone by. Just got done with my adult Lunchable that I just had. Thank you, lovely wife, for getting that prepared for me. But the first half the day was good. There was a lot of very good information that was given that as drivers, as far as money saving advice goes, is probably going to be number one as far as fuel is concerned. Gas prices are always a concern in transportation, especially whenever you are kind of 1099 and you're not an hourly employee. It's all about saving money on the road because it leads to more money in the pocketbook. So a lot of good advice that was given this morning, and I'll share even more with that later on. But even beyond that, we had to go through the very first thing that they did. We get there, we sign in, we do our normal, road check type thing. And then we all got together and we drove our individual trucks to the yard and actually hooked up to a towaway. So in the towaway process, bumper pull, RV type situation, we had to do a full hookup like it's a brand new RV because we were pulling brand new RVs majority of the time. So we get the batteries out, we get all of our hitches all out, we start hooking up all the different dilly-dallies that go onto it as far as whether you have sway bars or you have chains or something of that nature. Get them all hooked up, hook up the truck all by yourself, just like you would if you were just going to be driving one or hooking one up on a normal basis. So we got hooked up, got everything taken care of, and then they took us around the yard. It's pretty sparse right now just because it's the slow season. A lot of people that are going camping have already purchased their RVs either in May or in June. They were already getting ready for it. So, although there are loads on the load board, the yard was not as packed as it normally would be. So we went and we did our driving test. Hooked on, we pulled it out. We went around the yard whichever way that the instructor was telling us, whether we were doing right turns around cones or we were doing left turns around cones. And the main thing that they were looking for is, making sure all your brake lights work, making sure that your blinkers work, make sure that, you can stop the trailer type thing. And then, of course, the number one thing is make sure that you don't hit anything, because that's going to be a huge factor. Any kind of tickets, any kind of wrecks, it's going to be not only on the individual, but it's also a representation of the company that I'm going to be working for. So I definitely don't want to tarnish their reputation. They've worked very hard on getting where they are now in the industry, and so I don't want to do anything to deter that, because the more that the individual driver helps the company, the more the company, hopefully in return, will help the driver. So that's what it's all about, give and go, give and take kind of thing. So hopefully all that kind of works out, and we can all grow together. That's going to be the main thing. It's all about growth together. So got all that done, didn't hit anything, came really close. Oh my goodness, really close to hitting one of them. The very first one, I pulled up right next to the cone and had to make a left-hand turn. Didn't come out a little wide enough, and I almost scraped the side, but I made it through, didn't have any issues. The guy gave me a thumbs up, we were good to go. Came back, and I was supposed to put it right back in the same spot that I pulled it out of. Well, there was another truck that was hooking up to one that was getting ready to load out. I just saw a truck. I was like, oh, that got to be the group. So I just pulled in between two RVs right next to the other truck and dropped it there. Coming to find out, that was 3 trailers too early. I should have been further down. So I didn't put it back in the right spot. He didn't ding me for that, so it wasn't that big. Apparently it wasn't that big of a deal. I offered to circle back around and park it back where it goes, and he said it's fine. So I left it there. Then got back to the office. The dispatchers, the compliance officer and the logbook person gave us some really good information. About to go back and finish up that part of the orientation. But out here in Indiana in July, oh my goodness, absolutely beautiful. This morning, 64 degrees. I brought a long sleeve shirt because I knew that the further north I go, the cooler it's going to get. And we've already acclimated to Texas heat. So we're already thinking triple digits, high 90s type thing. So I knew coming into Indiana, Illinois, it was going to get a whole lot cooler. Come to find out, it does. I almost put it on today. I will probably put it on tomorrow because it's going to be even cooler tomorrow. So going to be looking forward to doing something like that. Probably drive everyone inside my class kind of crazy, like, what are you doing? Because they're all from the north. I'm the only one that's really kind of down from the south. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see what kind of reactions I get tomorrow whenever I come into class with a sweater on. Well, actually a long sleeve, not really a sweater. So going back, finishing up the last bit of paperwork that we're going to need before we get all the rules and regulations and when to log and how to log, all your must do's and have to do's and can't do's. That's all tomorrow. So that whole spiel and class and education and a ton of information just getting flown into me is going to be something that I'm not sure I'm going to be ready for. But we will definitely take all of it in because it's all very important to make sure that we meet DOT and all the other state rules and regulations that different states have. So let's get back into class. Let's finish up the day, and then we will give you an update. Hopefully at dinner time. I'm kind of going to go back to the same place that I ate last night just because it was really good. The atmosphere was really nice. They had like a sports bar looking thing, so they had probably 6 or 7 different TVs on different channels. So it's really nice, and it doesn't make you feel awkward whenever you just eat by yourself inside of a restaurant. Whenever you go into a bar and grill type thing. I don't drink, never have, but that atmosphere is there, and then it kind of gives you that secludedness where it doesn't feel like you're taking up an entire table for one person and just get some weird looks. I cannot get over this 80-degree weather. It is so nice. Light breeze. I can see why people love the north in the summertime. Absolutely gorgeous. So, but enough of gorgeous, enough of looking around. Let's get to class. All right, guys, just got done with day 2. I'm wishing it was day 2. Day 1 of orientation. A lot of paperwork, a lot of signing, a lot of going over the Waves rules and regulations, DOT rules and regulations, and how you do your logbooks and everything come tomorrow. Made it through the equipment check, driving test, all that good stuff. So far so good. Pretty simple. The ladies that were helping us getting everything taken care of were super friendly, super knowledgeable about all the different aspects of the Wave Incorporation, not just their little part that they're their little department, but as even an overall organization. So hats off to Wave for cross training and getting your people the information that they need. So not a bad day. Tomorrow, I heard, is the day. Tomorrow is going to be a day of, like I've already talked about, just a flood of information coming in. So there'll be a lot of writing down. There'll be a lot of stuff that's going to happen. Getting ready to take my first load. Don't know where I'm going. Don't know what it all entails. But hopefully it will be painless, or as painless as possible. Maybe not be the smoothest thing that happens, but you never know. It could just be one of those godsends and be like, hey, I got you a load going as close to home as possible, and thanks for coming up, here's a nice pay. Hope that's kind of how it goes. So there's one right there that just loaded up on theirs. That's a nice one. So head back to the hotel. Beautiful day outside. 80 degrees still at 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So go back to the hotel, do a little bit of data input, make sure I'm still keeping up with all the numbers, because I know that's what we really want to get down to, is how much was startup, how much was first orientation, how much was first trip, when do you start making the profit? Just got done with dinner. Sorry I didn't get to show you all inside, do a little bit of videoing, but they were getting ready for trivia night, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll stick around for a little bit, just see what's going on, see how it's rolling, see what they got, see how hard the questions are. Number one, first category coming out of the gates was music, literature, and spelling. So I was like, all right, I'm decent at music, I like listening to music. Horrible at literature and can't spell to save my life. So I was like, this can't be too hard. It's trivia, how hard can it be? I'm in Napanee, Indiana. What kind of questions they got? So very first question out of the box was, in 1988, Kokomo was released by what band? So I sit there and ponder just for a second, and I was like, you know what? I don't know. And if that's as easy as they get in round one, I probably don't need to stick around and see what round 2 or 3 is going to look like. I'm headed back to the hotel. I decided to walk tonight, get a little bit of exercise before I get stuck back in the truck for a couple of days. Kind of bit off a little bit more than I could chew. It's about a little over 1.5 miles back to the hotel. So just kind of walking down the street, you're going to see cars behind me, motorcycles, trucks and trailers, all sorts of different stuff. So please excuse the road noise. Hopefully you can hear something that I'm saying. First day, a lot of information, a lot of signing, a lot of rules and regulations for Wave that you got to go through. Test drive, you got to hook up a bumper pull, make sure that make sure that you can haul it, your truck can handle it. And then tomorrow is going to be the big downpour of all the information as far as, you know, DOT and all the other different regulations. If you fill out an application for a job and they send you a list of requirements, a list of rules and regulations, a list of paperwork, a list of things that they need you to do, I highly suggest you do those things. Don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait until you show up and then go, oh, I need this and this and this. I didn't know that. Well, I know that you knew that because they sent me that. Luckily for me, because I got a good wife who watches over me, watched a lot of videos, did a lot of YouTube, got in contact with some people that do this for a living for this company. They really broke it down for me. They were like, you need X, Y, and Z. Make sure you do this. Don't be late. It'll make it a whole lot smoother, and you won't have to spend a whole lot of money all at one time. You'll be able to kind of space it out until you get ready to actually transport. But just with all of them, if they require you to have black pants and a black polo or a black shirt, if they require you to have non-slip shoes, and they're calling you in for an interview, good chance you're going to get that job. So don't wait till the last moment. Don't wait till the last day right before your first day of going, oh, I need those shoes. I'll just go down to the, local shoe store and grab a pair. And then they don't have it. Then what are you going to do? You going to call in on your first day? It's not going to be a good experience for you. Cross your T's, dot your I's, and life will go smoother. Life will work out. If you don't, is it going to be a little rough? Yeah, it's going to be a little rough. But most of the time, if you're prepared, if you've set things in motion, you've done it the right way, you're going to get good results. It's going to be smoother. It's going to be easier. So that's my little tidbit. That's my little, I guess, preaching or teaching, whatever you want to call it. And our class, our orientation class, was supposed to have 5 people today. From the information that I gather, we're supposed to have 5. Well, only 4 of us showed up. Now that 5th one, I don't know. There might be some adverse things that are going on in his life. There might be something that's happening. He could have broke down. There's no telling what could have happened. So I can't really, knock him for that or give him bad grades. But what I can tell you is if he just no-showed, just to not no-show, there's a good chance he's not going to be working for Wave. If you don't show up, you don't call, you don't let people know where you're at after you're supposed to be there, after, they've done all this stuff and they're getting ready for you, there's a good chance it ain't going to last long. So I hope he's okay. I hope he's doing good. I hope he found something better or wanted to go somewhere else. I mean, it's totally up to him. I hope he just didn't no-show, because that's not good for anybody. But it was really good today. A lot of information. Downloaded all the apps. Got to go through some of them. A lot more to learn, a lot more to go through. So we'll see how it goes. But so far, pretty good. Not too bad. Man, this walk is killing me. Just got finished eating some fish and chips. Whew. Maybe I should have taken an Uber or something. I don't know. Or just drove my own truck, but that's all right. It's only 1.5 miles. I won't die. I don't think so. Oh, I hear one coming. But this is what they do. And so, just going through life, enjoying the time. I mean, their carts have lights on them. Of course, it's really nice today, so they ain't got anything on the top. Wonderful family, just taking a stroll. Matter of fact, they passed me going into town, and now they passed me coming out of town. I find that pretty hilarious. I don't know if I'm going to get a whole bunch of trips up here during the summertime where I can stay in this nice, cool weather. Stay at night in this nice, cool weather. or if I'm going to be taking some trips down south, Louisiana, New Mexico, Arizona, you know, those type areas, and spending some hot evening summers in my truck without an AC. I don't know how long that's going to last, but we'll see what we can do. Got some good contact information from people that do this for a living, that have been doing this for quite some time, that are doing pretty much the same thing I'm doing. I got a truck that I know can do what it needs to do. I got it equipped with the rules and regulations that it's supposed to have, and I'm going to be building it up. There's some wants that will definitely make it easier. There's some wants that will definitely make it more cost efficient. But for right now, getting up here, orientation done, getting back to what is right now my normal job within a week, and then start taking some trips every month, every so often, whenever I find something on the board that will allow me to go as close back to home as possible. Whenever I start getting into that, that's whenever I got to start worrying about the bottom line. Overall, good trip up here. It's kind of hot the first night. Good trip up here. First day of orientation, great. Second day of orientation, not 100% sure how that's going to go. We'll definitely check it out. We'll see how it goes, how much overload I get in my little brain. Make sure I'm going to understand all the rules. Go through they're supposed to have a load for us, so we'll see how that goes. But go through and check everything, load all the logs, stop at the right places, purchase, fuel at a right price, which most of the time on the way up here, that's what I did. So a little bit smarter now. People that have been doing this for a while that are staying at our inn got some good questions in. They kind of explain their routine of where they fill up, because that's where they know the cheaper fuel is going to be. And it's all about gathering information right now. Learning what I can do, what I can't do. Learning the tips and tricks that a lot of these guys had to learn the hard way. Had to go through the aches and the pains. That I get the privilege of kind of coming up behind them to learn from all their mistakes, learn from everything that they've learned, and how to be more efficient and be more productive. So we'll see how it goes. Everything's going great so far. First load, that's the one I'm kind of worried about. Where are they going to send us? Are they going to give us some options? Or if I have to do a second load, when's that going to be available? Can I make it back to Texas? The main thing is I got to get back to Texas as soon as possible. I have a very precious engagement that I desperately need to get back to. I do not want to miss. The whole part of this job is so I don't miss birthdays, anniversaries, special occasions. I have the flexibility to get a load when I want one, make a run whenever I need one. I think I'm done. I'll have to build up some endurance to hold the phone and make the video, and hopefully not so jostling. I can see it shaking, so we'll see how it looks whenever it's all said and done. If my wife actually posts this, or if I'm gonna have to override something. All right, I think I see it. Okay, bye.